Hi, I'm Ron Moorhead, and you're listening to the Paranormal Zone.
Look, I know the supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen. It does happen. A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Patrick, I have a
What?
question.
Okay, what is your question?
You and I, well, it's more of a trivia type thing that's very interesting to me. We share a great admiration, maybe even a love for a certain movie that, well, it's fun. It's got great actors in it, and it stars the one and only Andre the Giant.
Oh my goodness! Well, that really limits the filmography choices.
Yeah,
I'm assuming you're referencing The Princess Bride. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Pumping Iron with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Nope, we're not talking about Pumping Iron, which is funny you mentioned that because I just watched that the other day.
You did? I don't think I could watch it. Oh, The Princess Bride or Pumping Iron?
No, Pumping Iron. It's I don't know. It's fascinating. Man, Arnold is one arrogant SOB, but he backs it up. He backs it up though, man.
Yeah, he's Mr. Everything. I think he's probably mellowed out in his old age, I'm sure.
Well, and I also think a lot of it was an act too. Part of it was an act,
But
go
Andre
ahead.
the Giant was not an act, though.
No, he was not. He was large.
He was pure. That what you saw that was him.
Yes, there's no getting around.
Yeah. But okay, so during the filming of this movie that we enjoy so much,
yes,
they were filming a scene, and I wish I could have caught what scene it was. I don't even think it said. But all of a sudden, Andre, however you want to pronounce it.
I love how you always say Andre.
Andre the Good Giant.
There you go.
Andre, all of a sudden, he lets out this massive flatulence, this fart that lasts for 16 seconds straight.
Who the hell timed it? Holy cow.
Well, I'm sure they had it on film and they may have done this.
Oh, that's true.
That's what, because I thought the same thing, and that's the only thing I could come up with. But I mean, it stopped the production instantly. Everybody's looking at him like waiting for this to stop,
It just was going on and on and on. The boom mics are rattling. Yeah. Pictures are falling off the walls.
Yeah. And probably everything is, the smell of beer and beef tallow is in the air. Like,
oh, yeah, okay.
Very thick. But
very, very French, because he was from France, everybody.
So anyway, when he was done flatulating.
Is that a word?
I don't know. It is for this story. But Rob Reiner looks at him and says, Andre, are you okay? And Andre says, I am now, boss.
I am now, boss.
And on they go. Shooting the rest of the scene.
Just went on and on, as if nothing ever happened. Oh, yes. I love it. I love
a little bit of Andre trivia.
And if he liked you, he called you boss. Everyone that was like in his circle of friends, he referred to everybody as boss.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool. That was, if he was, again, if you were on his good side and he's called you boss, you're in good seating for sure.
Rob Reiner had a lot of friends, I believe.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. R.I.P. the Rob Reiner for sure.
I'm gonna mute for a second. I have to yell at my dog.
Oh, you're okay. Go ahead and viciously beat your dog. I swear to God, it never fails. Every single episode, regardless if it's a Patreon, if it's a YouTube video, if it's a flagship,
Yeah.
Mishka, the moment Dad starts talking,
she has to get her 2 cents in there. But I told you
I
earlier,
guess.
she's been in heat, so she's been in really bad.
Right.
And you get a very large, over 100-pound Great Pyrenees that is in misery.
No, I get it. I get it.
I feel bad for her though, but
no,
anyway.
I understand, man. No, we all love Mishka, so she's got to learn to keep her trap shut when it's podcasting time.
Well, and then whenever you come over and make it over here, she wants to jump up on you. Well,
yeah, exactly.
Not as bad as Macy did.
No, gosh, no. The German Shepherd was no. She tried to tackle me. I couldn't move, and then she'd pee.
Yeah.
It's like, Mishka, hey,
if she got up on your shoulders, she'll knock you down. She will knock you down.
Speaking of when I visit you guys, we have another adventure planned.
Yes, we do.
Gosh, I just can't. I can't shake the investigative urges, Mike. I mean, we were just not that long ago at the McIntyre, for God's sakes, and
which was absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, and we're still discovering. Well, yeah, we are. Yes, still discovering some odd anomalies, and now a weird video anomaly too that I did post on our Patreon page.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested in supporting the podcast, if you're a fan of the Paranormally Zone, check out our Patreon page. Exclusive episodes, well over 100 exclusive episodes now available anywhere else, but also lots of audio and video and cool, fun stuff from our paranormal investigations, including our latest trip to the McIntyre. That little video, whatever you want to call it, blip, Mike, that little light that was picked up in the basement that just happened to perfectly coincide with that
that's right.
audio anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
On two separate recorders, the digital and the webcam audio / video. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Check it out on our Patreon page and let us know your thoughts. It's kind of interesting.
The and that EVP that that we caught on there, I can't help but think it was responding just to me trying to be funny at the moment.
Trying to sing at that time.
Well, it didn't really seem to appreciate
no
me at all.
No,
like,
you were trying to you're right, because you had just written our name, the Paranormally Zone, in the dust on that mirror window in the basement. Window in the basement. And so you said, like, no, we're stepping into the Paranormally Zone, and whatever you're trying to do. And then immediately after that, you hear that, like you just acted it out. Yeah. A not so happy spirit in the background. Apparently he was so unhappy that he also manifested enough energy to show itself in a light blip. It's like, shut this man up.
Well, that whole investigation, I was totally off my game. I still am. I did nothing.
You did nothing. You didn't even turn on your digital recorder.
Yeah, I took a couple of pictures.
You didn't bring out the dowsing rods.
No, nothing.
You didn't bring out the parabolic dish.
And then when it came to where I tell you, before we left to go there, the thing I wanted to do the most was sit in that rocking chair and do some Estes method.
Yeah.
And you know how I am about doing the Estes method.
You love it.
I love that stuff. And I looked at the chair there and I said, I ain't freaking doing that. I can't.
And I called you out on video. We're down in the basement. And I said, you had all these big plans, Mike. And you said, well, it's easy to say when you're hundreds of miles away. Because you were kind of creeped out. You were freaked out a little bit. Yeah, but it ended up being a great night, though. Great night.
It's so unlike me, though.
But I did see some updates from the new owners of the McIntyre, and they're doing a lot of refurbishing and cleaning it up. And again, I'll try and keep my opinion to myself about this, but I know they're already cutting down a lot of those ancient old giant trees that are in the front yard of the McIntyre. Are you
serious?
Yep, they're already gone, and they're saying they're claiming it's so this beautiful building can be seen from all angles from the easier to be seen. And it's like I'm watching these trees. How old are those magnificent trees?
Those trees were there when the original people lived there. That's part of the history of that house.
Yep, and they're down now. So
that's ridiculous. That just goes to show you what these people that own it now, what their motives are.
I'm not exactly too thrilled with it. I mean, they have their agenda, and they're spinning it like it's a pretty fantastic way
fabulous thing. We're making more options available. Bullshit.
Yeah, more options for them to make money.
Exactly. So. And we do need to get a new date set up for Steph to be on.
Yes, for sure.
We definitely need to talk to her about that and about what we experienced there.
So, if you're curious, Steph, if you were curious, you're not familiar who we're talking about. Steph was the former owner of the McIntyre. She had owned it for prior 8 years, and she's the one who booked us, and I was in contact with her throughout our stay there, and still I'm in contact with her, and she has so many strong opinions and takes and such a history of experiences at that place. So we're going to get her on the show. She's already agreed to be on it, and unfortunately we've had to reschedule a couple of times, but she is going to be here, and I'm looking forward, Mike, to sharing the stuff that we captured with her too.
Exactly.
Get her take, get her organic responses. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yep, absolutely.
We have a cool topic tonight as well.
We do. Some may think so, some may not.
Well, it is. It is. I mean, everyone's heard of the Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
How familiar are you, Mike, with what is known as the Alaskan Triangle? Be honest. How familiar are you with this alleged paranormal hot zone?
I'll tell you what, it's not in Bermuda.
No, it is not.
So
what you're saying is you are not familiar with the Alaskan Triangle.
Well, I am, but not as much as I would like to be. I mean, I did a little bit of reading and stuff on it, but
by the end of this episode, we're going to be a little more well read. Put it that way.
Absolutely, but there's so many things that have happened there as opposed to the Bermuda Triangle. I mean, because it's part of the land as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I mean, the extensive Bigfoot sightings in this triangle as well, and things like that.
Exactly.
UFOs.
UFOs.
Just like the Bermuda Triangle with UFOs. But yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I like it. It's going to be a good discussion. Mike, we usually, as longtime listeners know, we usually start off each and every flagship episode with a segment we refer to as Ghost Gab, where we just yammer about any sort of ghostly, personal experiences, tales, opinions, takes, theories. You got anything? Because I sure don't.
Nothing new has been happening around this house.
Yeah, nothing really has been happening in my neck of the woods either.
No, wait a minute now, Patrick.
Yeah.
You texted me not so long ago about an experience you had. Was it in your yard? Something that you saw?
Oh, that's right. Did I share this already on a podcast? Did I?
Not that I know of. But then again, I don't remember everything.
I apologize to those who did listen to the prior episode if I did share this. But yeah, I'll use this real quickly for our Ghost Gab segment. Yeah, I was outside, Mike, and I'll preface it by saying I think I saw a damn ghost cat. Yes. There's a history of ghost cat sightings in the paranormal zone here, apparently.
Yes,
Mike had one in his house. I thought I saw one. I thought I saw one live on webcam when I was talking to you during a podcast years ago. And then the next day I decided to talk myself out of it.
Of course.
I don't know how else to describe it, but I was in my shed, the outdoor, formerly of the garage. Now it's another large, we use it as a storage shed basically, but I was in the process of clearing it out, making several trips. It was an all-day trip of clearing it out and going to the transfer station and tossing things away. It's kind of cathartic doing that every now and then. It's like, see you later, finally, to be no more, to be seen no more. And I'm in there. And yes, both the dogs are outside with me, but both of the dogs were in the shed with me at this time, okay? And I'm doing what I'm doing. The shed door is open. I'd say this is around noon. I texted you immediately when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing what I'm doing, and I hear something, Mike. I hear something so much so that I looked up, and when I looked up towards the open door, I saw something that just happened to coincide with what I heard. I cannot describe it very well as to what I heard. It was like a rustling or like a I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah,
It was something
right.
that I heard. And in the blink of an eye, essentially, when I looked up, boom, I saw what looked like a shadow fly by the door, low towards the ground. Okay, yes, it's outside. People are saying, well, it's just an animal out there and stuff. Well, we're fenced in over here. We got a nice white vinyl fence. The doors are shut. The gate doors are closed. And on top of that, within 3 seconds, I was outside looking for what I just saw. And there's no way, if there was something that somehow slid under a gate door or something of that size, I don't know how it could have done that. There's no way it would have escaped in the direction it was going to the point where I would have lost it within 3 seconds. I mean, I went out there, I looked everywhere. The dogs are out there with me. There's nothing. There's nothing in the backyard.
You would have seen it scrambling away.
I would have seen it scrambling away. But there's no doubt about that. Again, skeptics, pseudo-skeptics out there saying, oh, you're full of crap, whatever. It was just an animal and you're imagining things and you're exaggerating. No, I'm not, because I'm always the one who tries to debunk things, but I can't debunk that. I heard it and I saw it and then it was gone. So I don't know what the hell that's all about. It's kind of interesting. Do you have any takes on that, Mike?
Well, I would love to think it was a ghost cat or a ghost something. I mean, you tried to debunk it. I mean, if anybody can debunk anything, you'll make shit up to debunk something if you have to.
Hey, I'm not that bad.
So, no, you're not. But yeah, I know there are ghost cats, because like you said, we have one here, and I always tell you, there's more history to where you live than what we even know.
I would assume so.
You said that that there used to be an outhouse back somewhere on the property.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it used to be here. I lived when I first lived out here back in the 90s, back in the day before taking over the house and eventually buying it. Yeah, there was two outhouses on both edges of the property.
Mm-hmm. So who knows what could have happened there? I mean, it would be neat if you could get into some archives of that piece of property.
I know. I've been talking about doing that for years. I just never flip and do it. I got to do that. Yeah, it was interesting though. Again, it's just the fact that I heard it.
Yeah.
That's what was intriguing. That's what made me look up.
Yeah. Like the ghost of the girl that I glimpsed at the
McIntyre. Exactly.
I heard it. And as I turned around, it's like I turned around just in time to see that flash.
Yep.
But enough to where it was like a girl wearing a dress, wearing a pinafore, and then she disappeared before she hit that first top steps. Like she was going to go down the stairs, but then it disappeared before going down the stairs. Yeah, I saw it. I heard it. I saw it.
I know. And the thing is too, another cheap Patreon plug, but there's a lot of video stuff from our venture to the McIntyre, including I think 3 different times you're on video where you're talking about what you saw, because it was just obviously it was very raw on your mind at the time, and you just wanted to keep. I don't blame you, and I loved hearing about it. It was like such a impactful thing for you that you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so every single time, which is nothing new, when you described it, it was exactly the same. Every time you described what you saw, it was exactly the same.
It's like it's embedded in my head, just like that. Yep. How many decades ago in the 70s?
Yes.
When I saw that first girl, that's just
the floating apparition. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to clarify, not like when you just saw some random girl. You saw a floating
not
apparition.
Some girl I had a crush on in grade school. No.
Right. Exactly. That's embedded in your mind in different ways, as it is for all of us, right? From
exactly.
Our first crushes and our first loves and all that.
But I tell you though, if that girl back there in the 70s, if she would have had color and not just all white, she probably would have been pretty cute.
Probably, yeah. Maybe
I don't know.
If she wasn't dead, yeah.
Yeah, and if she wasn't dead, yeah.
No, physically dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we here at the Paranormally Zone, we are all about the idea of it's the physical vessel that we are entrapped, our meat suit that we are trapped within right now.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, had a wonderful conversation with just a terrific gal last week when I got the first phase of a tattoo done or redone on my left arm here.
Redone. Okay, I've been noticing that, and I'm like, okay, that's very fresh looking, covered still.
Yep, it's still covered and it's bleeding a little bit here. The ink is, but it's absolutely fantastic, and it's going to extend down my arm. But
it looks like sunflowers to me.
Yeah, well, it's petals, lotus petals.
Lotus, of course. I was just kidding about the sunflower, but lotus petals are awesome. That makes a lot of sense. Very spiritual.
Yes, 100%. So, shout out to her because her and her husband are going to be checking out the Paranormally Zone. I was there. This tattoo first portion took 5 hours, and so we just talked the whole flipping time, and it was awesome. Such a cool person. Again, her husband seems super cool. Got to meet her her daughter. Oh, it was awesome. She, I think, Mike, would if I were to disappear from this earth, she would be a wonderful person to take over the Paranormally Zone as a host. I'll just put it that way because it's just she referred to our body as the meat suit, so I just kind of stole it from her. So that's the reason I brought that up.
Is this the little kid or is it the wife?
The wife, the tattoo artist. Yes.
Okay.
So I thought I just wanted to give a shout out to her if she is listening sometime in the future. So thank you very much for checking out the show. Mike, the Alaskan Triangle. My golly gee willikers, we're finally there.
The Triangle of Alaska.
As we said, most people
to Alaska.
As we mentioned, most people have heard of the Bermuda Triangle, but not too many, I would assume, have heard of the Alaskan Triangle. I'll be honest, I am fairly ignorant when it comes to this. It did not ring a bell. It's kind of when I was looking into it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I kind of remember that story here. I kind of remember that story there. An aficionado, I am not when it comes to the Alaskan Triangle. So let's learn a little bit about it together.
Actually, yes. Actually, I think one of our most wonderful guests that we've had on, the Bigfoot aficionado, had actually done some documentaries on Bigfoot in the Bermuda, or not the Bermuda, in the Alaskan Triangle.
You're talking about Mr. Ron Moorhead.
That's right.
Absolutely, 100%. As we mentioned earlier, there's been several, perhaps even thousands, unexplained disappearances, UFO sightings, claims of Bigfoot, different versions of Bigfoot, shapeshifters, legends, Native American legends, supernatural activity, all taking place well over the past 50 years. Even some skeptics, Mike, they find it difficult to come up with a purely scientific explanation as to what the hell's going on with all these disappearances.
Now, in your research, have you found anything about? Okay, now I'd seen a documentary and it was in Alaska, and I don't know if this was part of the Alaskan Triangle or not, but there's a village that's along the waterline where this group of guys went to go investigate, and they stayed a night or two there, and it was abandoned, this whole village, and it was because of some Bigfoot type creature.
Yes.
That was like stealing people and taking people were missing and taking.
Yes. I want to say that's the one that Ron Moorhead took a part in because it was a Travel Channel series. And I think it was called like Killer Bigfoot.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And I don't want to put words into Ron's mouth, but I believe when we talked to him, his portion was just, he wasn't necessarily discussing when he had an opportunity to share his thoughts. He was kind of talking about more of the Bigfoot legend. He wasn't necessarily there as a proponent of the idea of these people being attacked and killed by Bigfoot. As we know, Ronald is totally all about Ronald. Ron is totally all about Bigfoot as a peaceful spiritual entity.
Next thing you know, you're going to be calling him Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie! Shout out to my good pal, my boy Ronnie. But yes, I believe that's the what you're referring to.
Right, exactly.
Now, the Alaskan Triangle covers a very large portion of Alaska itself, obviously, starting at the southern coast with Juneau and Anchorage. The triangle is completed along the northern coast. How do you pronounce? I can't even pronounce that name right there. The Utqiagvik. Sorry if I butchered it. I'm usually My first reference, Mike, so you can follow along and fill in and jump in anytime. I'm using the usghostadventures.com article right now.
I think I just found out where you're at because I just saw that.
Yes. That's what easy for you to say.
Yeah, along the northern coast. Anyway,
this massive expanse of land includes steep mountains, hidden caves, treacherous bodies of water, and dense forests. The terrain is
all kinds of creepy crawlies.
All kinds of creepy crawlies. Some of them bipedal and hairy,
and smell bad,
and very smell like cabbage. Small hands. With an unforgiving terrain and intense snowstorms hitting the area throughout the year. Now, considering the size of the Alaskan Triangle, it's not surprising that people do, in fact, go missing. And some of these tales about missing people are downright creepy and unexplainable. One of them in particular that jumps out to me is the one of the I want to say racer, but he's a jogger. He's taken place in a competition where they're running, and like within racer? 200. Why am I drawing a blank on it?
Is his first name Speed by any chance?
Speedy Racer. Yes, that's what his name was. Competitive jogger. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank, but he was like within 200. We'll get to it later.
Competitive jogger.
Yes. Moving on. I cannot think of the right words. Help.
Come on along. Let's jog and see who can jog the furthest.
So it's a race. They're running. Okay. And like within 200 feet of the finish line, he literally disappeared. He went off the trail and he was gone.
Okay.
So we'll reach that in a second. So if you can think of a better word, Mr. Smarty Pants, you jump right in.
I'm a competitive jogger.
I thought I was going competitive jogger. What do you do for a living?
I'd like to see a resume for that.
Oh, man. So what is surprising, even with the abundance of disappearances, what is surprising is, in fact, how they do go missing without a flipping trace, despite month-long searches.
Yeah. No trace.
There are rumors. Yeah. There are rumors of cryptids and aliens, UFO sightings, as we mentioned, Mike, which obviously only further fuels the speculation that something out of the ordinary is going on in the Alaskan Triangle. More than 20,000 people, Mike, have gone missing in the Alaskan Triangle since the 1970s.
Well, not to be, scoffy, whatever, but I mean, it is a huge, barren, desolate,
yes, it is
almost unpopulated area where these things happen, and anything can happen, but just the sheer number of these cases and how they've happened is amazing. That's
what makes you scratch your head a bit.
Exactly.
Now, the article does point out that out of that 20,000 have gone missing, 16,000 of them, so 80% of them, have gone missing after 1988. Now, that's intriguing. Wow.
So there's been a huge uptick.
An uptick.
Wow.
Again, all skeptics point out that's not improbable for that many people to disappear in a state, as you mentioned, Mike, that is absolutely massive. It's twice the size of Texas. It still is kind of creepy. It still is kind of unsettling.
It's very unsettling. And then what I see really unsettling next year is the Cessna 310 that was carrying 4 people that disappeared in 1972. Now, I've heard of that story.
Yes.
But never have I heard that it was possibly attributed to this triangle. I mean, that's when it was carrying the U.S. House Majority Leader Hale Boggs and Alaska Congressman Nick Begich. Begich's assistant, Russell Brown, and the pilot. I've heard that story, but I've heard conspiracy stories where, the congressman was murdered, and somebody was on the plane, so I've never
like for political reasons.
For political reasons, yeah. But it's interesting to see it on this take of the Alaskan Triangle.
Yeah, the Cessna 310 that these missing congressmen were on, it vanished somewhere between Juneau and Anchorage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, following their disappearance of these 2 Democratic congressmen, a 39-day search did ensue, which included 50 civilian planes and 40 military aircraft. The search encompassed over 32,000 square feet of terrain. Now, that's roughly the size of Maine. That's how expansive this search went. But despite the investigators' best efforts, of course, you could guess it, not a single trace of the plane or its passengers was ever found. Not a single trace of the plane. Now, is it possible that it went down into a body of water that's unaccounted for?
Sure.
That's resting at the bottom of a deep lake that even, I guess all geographers have missed throughout the years. It's possible.
It could be stuck in a very large expanse of trees for off the ground even.
Hey, that's a great point. That absolutely it could. Absolutely it could. And then if there are any survivors, I mean, my gosh. Wildlife, Mike, bears, seems like pretty ripe picking. They got literally food handed to them from the sky.
Yeah.
But of course, almost immediately, conspiracy theorists pondered if, in fact, Hale and Begich had been targeted by their own government. Hale had been on the Warren Commission, and for those of you who don't know, the Warren Commission was, in fact, assembled to investigate the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Now, people have their thoughts on the Warren Commission and its validity and what it was shooting for and its quote-unquote results, but we won't go there. That's maybe for another Patreon discussion.
It could go all over the place, but anyway.
Hale was notably against the theory of a single bullet killing the president. Intriguing. It makes you ponder for sure. Yes. The story the government fed everybody, this guy, he wasn't buying it. All of a sudden he goes missing. Coincidence? Hey, I'm not suggesting anything. We're just throwing it out there. Hale had also been a staunch opponent of FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover. Now, of course, with all that being said, there is no evidence to suggest foul play or a government conspiracy. But again, it makes you ponder, right?
Exactly. Nobody's going to know what exactly happened on that plane because there's nobody to tell the story.
Exactly. There's been nothing, no trace has ever been found of anything of this disappearance. How tragic for the families, too, man. No closure whatsoever.
The only way there can be anything that might be known is if it was a conspiracy or a true conspiracy and there was a plot to murder somebody there. Somebody that may still be alive knows what happened and knows what that plan was, but we'll never know that either.
And if that person's listening to this episode right now, we'd like to talk to you.
Yeah.
Open
invitation. Yeah.
Now, some other notable disappearances include, which went down later in the 1970s, when a man named Gary Frank, 2 first names, Gary Frank.
I would never do that to a child of mine.
Okay, hold on. Gary Frank Southerden, so sorry about that, went missing during a hunting trip. Investigators managed to recover Southerden's ID and glasses, but there were no other traces of the man. It took until 1997 for there to be a break in this case. The skull was found near Porcupine River and was believed to have been Southerden's, based on his last known location. However, it was not until 2022 that DNA evidence did confirm the skull belonged to Southerden. Trauma to the skull indicated that Southerden had been mauled by a bear. Not so much a conspiracy right there. Still no real true, perhaps, confirmation. Trauma to the head.
Well, a bear's got to eat.
It does.
I mean, and what are humans to a wild bear, and especially like out in a place like that?
Food.
Prey. We're just prey. Yeah. We're another animal.
Now, again, we're not suggesting that Mr. Gary Frank's disappearance is by any means nefarious or conspiratorial, but it's worth noting that it's not necessarily confirmed that he did go missing and the cause was from a bear attack. Now, this is what I was referring to earlier, Mike, when you were laughing hysterically at me when I couldn't think of the flippin' how to properly describe this.
Okay.
Paul Lemaitre was 65, and he was competing in his first marathon. So there you go. I couldn't think of the flippin' word marathon.
Okay, so jogger.
So I was saying competitive jogger.
Well, I suppose it fits. I mean, you're not going to be sprinting in a marathon.
No, you're not. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Now he vanished inside the Alaskan Triangle. But what is really bizarre, Mike, is that Mr. Lemaitre was 200 feet from the finish line and actually had already handed in off his race bib. But it was before he even reached the finish line, Mike, that he literally disappeared off of the trail. Never to be seen again within 200 feet of the finish line.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
What the hell?
You would think that dogs would have easily been able to find him.
Find him.
Yeah. Or even a search party. Yeah.
Now, how long did it take for people to realize, hey, Paul's missing? I just saw him 200 feet away.
Yeah. But then
maybe we should go look for him.
Then some local guy way in the back says, "Yeah, but I saw a Bigfoot carrying a sleeping bag over his shoulder, and he was running like a mad crazy thing, running right into the woods."
And they're like, "Oh, that's just old Leroy. That's backwoods Leroy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Go back to your moonshine, Leroy. Don't tell us about Bigfoot."
Those Bigfoot, when they steal somebody and have them carrying over their shoulder in a sleeping bag.
I tell you again, this is another one of my pet peeves.
On that.
It's another one of my pet peeves. Yeah, we did. Absolutely. And we've said it so many times, but it's pertinent to this. I swear to God, it's the media just loves jumping on any stories like this, and they go out of their way to find the Leroy, Dinglehoffers out in the woods living in their treehouse.
My name is Mike Yokel. And I got to tell you what I saw.
And they have like maybe 2 teeth, and get this.
Fun of anybody.
No, but it's like, okay, we got to get that guy on camera, and we have to talk to him about his Bigfoot sightings, because their agenda is to make people think, who are watching the news and reports like this, that these are the type of folks who see Bigfoot.
Yeah,
and that's what
isn't
drives me nuts. No, oh my gosh, no, it isn't. The kind of the same thing every time there's a news story about a bloated, giant, unknown, mysterious carcass that floats up on a beach somewhere. It's like, it's always a whale. It's going to be a whale. It always has been a whale. But no, they blow it up like it's some mystery, only to debunk it, just to say, ha ha, we told you so. Oh, sorry, I'm getting fired up. It just bugs me.
Well, and some chunks that get blown off of that whale, they have fallen on cars and destroyed them.
They have. Yes.
Yeah.
I tell you, if you want to be
got killed,
if you want to be grossed out, go find some of the footage of literally gas-filled dead whales blowing up.
Yeah, isn't it just like a splatter of just meat and bloody gore?
Yeah,
just this huge spray.
Unbelievable power behind that built-up methane inside their bodies,
along with the TNT that they stick with it.
Well, these bodies have blown up on their own. Some of the ones there was that one that was on the beach, and the genius city council or whatever it was decided, let's blow it up.
Yeah.
That's the one I think you're referring to, where the chunks of carcass went for however long.
We'll just get some front-end loaders to clean up the mess. It'll be okay.
I don't know where I got onto that one. But anyways, it's absolutely unbelievable that this marathoner, Paul Lemaitre, disappeared within 200 feet of the finish line, never to be found. How is that possible?
Yeah. It does not make sense. Unless he had it all planned out and he wanted to disappear. Who knows?
I don't know. You think there'd be a better way than to, okay, I'm going to disappear, so I'm going to compete in the marathon first.
Yeah, that's pretty elaborate to, figure out a way to disappear.
Another notable disappearance was of one Richard Griffiths, who was an inventor, who went to the Alaska Triangle to test out his, quote, wilderness survival cocoon.
Well, that's probably his first mistake there.
I don't know what he means by that, or meant by that, I should say.
He wraps himself in miles and miles of silken thread and lays there to metamorphosize.
He wrapped himself in his own meat suit. Oh, when was going to happen to me? He was unfortunately last seen at a lodge near White River. Despite knowing his general location, no one was ever able to find Mr. Richard Griffins. Again, none of this stuff is suggesting this one in particular, the first one about not Paul Lemaitre, but the man named Gary Frank. Those, I mean, it could be anything. Dense, heavy, thick woods, dangerous terrain. Nothing really paranormal right now, but that marathoner still is kind of bugging me out a little bit. Now, in 2013, seasoned pilot, a little paprika on him, a little seasoned pilot, Alan Foster.
Paprika.
Alan Foster and his plane disappeared over the Alaskan Triangle. The only anomaly reported before he lost contact was his plane dropping 1,100 feet in altitude. Neither Foster nor his plane was ever recovered. Again, no body, no plane ever recovered with a sudden drop in altitude of over 1,000 feet. Again, that could be any mechanical issue. That could be, I don't want to say normal, not necessarily paranormal. Correct, Mike?
Right. I'm getting really grossed out for a second here.
What happened?
Well, we bought this nice table and chairs off of Marketplace a while ago, and I'm using one of them to sit here. Oh no! Wait, this is an even older chair. This isn't.
Are you stuck on it or something?
No, I just had my fingers underneath the front of it here, and I think I feel gum stuck to the bottom of it.
Oh, get your hand off of there until we're done with the podcast.
This is actually an antique chair that.
So it's antique gum.
And it's real. I bet it's blackjack or something.
Stop touching it until we're done.
We got some old antique gum underneath our old antique chair.
It might be worth something.
Well, if it's juicy fruit, I won't be so bad. But anyway, I'm not touching it again. I don't even want to look at it. But okay, where were we?
There are also other reports of individuals, Mike, who mysteriously vanished aboard a cruise ship. Another lost traveler was on a mountaintop with several other tourists when they, you guessed it, simply disappeared. No trace, no reason, gone. Now, these are just a handful of the missing person cases, obviously.
Yeah.
Just a little tidbit, a little taste.
Could have fallen into a very large crevasse.
Very large. Dangerous precipice.
A precipice of doom.
So this is another tangent. I know in the classic movie Ace Ventura Part 2, when Ace is running into a cave to try and capture like this exotic bat, and
I remember part of that.
And he's terrified, and he runs out. And at one point, his excuse was, "It's dangerous. It's dark. I could have fallen into a precipice." I'm like, is that the correct? That's not the correct term for that, right? Isn't
precipice? Not precipice or precipice?
No, precipice.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I don't know. Help me out, listeners. Is that correct? Well, I'll look it up.
Yeah, good idea.
I just don't think I could have fallen into a precipice, and that doesn't.
Well,
here it is. Here it is, right here. A precipice is a very steep or overhanging face of a rock, mountain, or cliff. So he should have said, "I could have fallen off of a precipice."
Off of a precipice,
not fallen into a precipice. Okay, well that's simple enough.
Although falling into a crevasse would work.
Yes, it would. I believe you are onto something there.
The main part that I remember about any Ace Ventura is the rhino birthing scene.
I love that scene. It is so just physically ridiculous, and that's the best part of the sequel for sure.
And quite revolting.
Yeah, but it's funny.
But
kind of warm in these rhinos.
Uh-oh.
All right, Mike. So we have some supernatural explanations for the Alaskan Triangle. Are you okay? Are you all right? Everything going good over there?
Absolutely.
Oh, you seemed like you were
I was just
distracted.
Yelling at the dog for a second again. She started to
yelling at the dog.
grumble a little bit, and I knew where she was going with it. So,
well, actually, you know what? We could probably, Mike, if you're okay, we could take a quick time traveling excursion if you wanted to.
Sure.
We can come back and we'll dive in a little bit more some of these kind of spooky, unexplainable tales from the Alaskan Triangle, and then we'll wrap it up. Does that work for you?
Absolutely.
All right, hold on, birds and burrs. I just said burrs. Hold on, boys and girls. We shall be right back. And we have returned from yet another successful time traveling excursion. Mike, we're getting a little rusty on our time traveling excursions. We don't do them that often anymore.
No, we don't. I think I've gotten to be able to hold my pee better. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay, TMI.
No, I don't. I still have problems.
In honor of the now 100-year-old great Mel Brooks. I mean, Spaceballs, when they do their their beaming, you know, when Scotty beamed her twice last night, and then they beam President Scrooge, you know, or Scrooge, or whatever. You got to look down, make sure that your ass isn't backwards. Right? Yeah. So our time traveling excursions are kind of dangerous. I'm just saying, we do that for the love of our fans and our passion, our devotion to the Paranomaly Zone. I'm looking down at me. Looks like everything is all in working order. So hopefully it's the same for you too.
Well, I remember one time I came back and I only had 2 toes on my right foot.
2 toes. Then, 2-toed carve. No.
The next morning I was fine.
Okay, good. They grew back.
I may have prepared too much for that episode before recording. So either way, I have no idea.
Now, we're going to wrap up the episode with some more discussion on the mysteries of the Alaskan Triangle. Supernatural potential, Mike.
Yes.
Potential supernatural explanations. Now, with thousands of people vanishing without a trace, I mean, it comes as no surprise that people started making comparisons to the infamous Bermuda Triangle. Now, those that do believe something of supernatural origin is at play in the Alaskan Triangle cite the substantial number of UFO sightings that occur within that region. It's definitely not easily dismissed. If there is a high number of UFO sightings within the Alaskan Triangle, makes you scratch your head.
And cough.
And cough sometimes.
That's turning your head.
That's turning your head and coughing.
Yeah, I totally messed that up.
Some people, in fact, believe that alien abductions are at least partly to blame for some of these 20,000 or more disappearances. Again, there have been others who swear they encountered Bigfoot while navigating the harsh terrain of the Alaskan Triangle. We mentioned this earlier in reference to the great Ron Moorhead and some of the experiences of others within this area.
I think Bigfoot's going to be there anyway.
Right, exactly. It just seems like a primo location for Sasquatch and pals.
Yeah,
for sure.
But
now, despite there being, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's a huge population throughout the whole of Alaska, but something might make them congregate more within this triangle.
Oh yeah,
more of a concentrated population, possibly of Bigfoot.
Especially if you're those who believe that there is an alien Bigfoot connection.
Exactly.
There is a UFO Bigfoot connection. There's a lot of evidence out there that suggests that there perhaps may be.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't put that past the realm of possibility. Now, despite there being a large population of bears in the area, these witnesses are certain that what they saw was most definitely not a bear. Of course, that being said, aliens and Bigfoots are hardly the only supernatural explanations in the Alaskan Triangle. Others include stories from the indigenous people of Alaska, including the Tlingit. I can't pronounce this one, Mike. The Tsimshian.
Yeah, I'm sure the T's are probably a little silent.
They're silent. So I'm going to say the Tlingit
and Tsimshian.
Tsimshian, exactly. I like that. Sorry to those who are going, oh my God, these guys are uneducated.
Yeah. Anybody that has any connection to these wonderful indigenous people of Alaska, we apologize.
We apologize. But the indigenous people spoke of a shape-shifting demon that lived in what is now the Alaskan Triangle. This demon was called the Kushtaka and had an otter-like appearance, but it could transform into a human. The Kushtaka used its powers to trick humans into following it into the wilderness to then take their lives. Ooh, I don't like that shapeshifter. What's going on with that?
Yeah, I'm sure that, there's, so many of I don't even want to just call them legends because of the history of native things like this.
Yes.
Like the shapeshifter and the Wendigo and things like that.
Yes.
I'm sure those are just throughout this entire area as well. I mean, among others that we don't even have never heard of, that we have no idea. There's
Can you imagine, Mike?
Even imagine.
Can you imagine, like, you and I somehow on a Paranormally Zone excursion being dropped in the middle of nowhere within a dense, dark Alaskan forest, right smack dab in the middle of the Alaskan Triangle? Would you use your parabolic dish at least?
I would, and a hell of a lot of DEET.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh man. I know, regardless of all these supernatural legends and potential realities, the damn mosquitoes are the worst thing ever.
Black flies. Oof. Yeah.
Now, another legend that resides within this Alaskan Triangle is known as the Dark Pyramid. The Dark Pyramid is said to exist in the center of the Alaskan Triangle. According to legend, the Dark Pyramid was built by an ancient civilization and in fact contained enough energy to electrify all of North America. I don't know if you heard me, Mike, because you were busy viciously beating your dog. But listen, did you hear that part about this being containing so much energy as to power all of North America? That's the legend. That's according to legend as to what is within this Dark Pyramid. Wow. This tale leads into another prevailing theory that vortexes are to blame for the many disappearances in the Alaskan Triangle. We've talked about vortexes on the podcast before. That is such a fascinating possibility to me. I mean, literally being sucked up, sucked out, sucked in into a void. I don't know. You're very. I don't know if you muted your mic, Mike, but I cannot hear you at all anymore.
Are you serious?
Oh, you just gotta speak up a little bit. I heard that. Oh, you're back. You're back. I hear you now.
Very good.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. Yeah. Turn in, tune out, and whatever they did. They used to say back in the 60s.
I think Mike's being overwhelmed by his name. He is now Mac Jiggler.
As soon as we hooked up here, all I see is cute cumber.
Oh, is that what you're laughing at?
Yes.
Okay.
I am talking to cute cumber today.
I am cute cumber. Yes. So
yes, and I'm the one and only Mac Jiggler.
The Mac Jiggler. Yes, indeed.
Anyway, but these vortexes, you can imagine if that's part of them. I think of a vortex, just even the size of, that just even like big enough for like a car to drive through, or just big enough for a person to walk through. Yes. They can open and close, and they can. There could be hundreds or thousands of these things just floating around the forest unseen, and then they'll open up at different times and they'll close up. Or if it's like a Venus flytrap. They see something coming, they open up, swallow it, and it's gone.
And then they're gone. I mean, is that what happened to the marathon runner?
Exactly. Or the plane. Who knows?
I mean, literally disappearing without a trace of evidence of what the hell happened to you.
And making it that close to civilization and to people is what really boggles my mind.
I mean, I those listening, maybe I'm overreacting a little bit, and if you want to put me on the right path, I'm just blown away by that marathon runner who I can't fathom when you're that close to the finish line and then you're gone. And you're gone. Nothing, no trace. No one knows what the hell happened to you. I can't, I don't know why I'm kind of flipping out on that one, but It's intriguing for sure. Now, these vortexes, Mike, are believed to be portals to other dimensions that contain concentrated electromagnetic energy that disrupts navigation. Plane malfunctions, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Planes dipping 1,100 feet in altitude out of nowhere, then disappearing without a trace. Planes carrying congressmen, no sign of the wreck. There is, in fact, Mike, a phenomena in the area called declination, which can throw off a compass by as much as 30 degrees. Now, is that just purely some natural Earth power? I'm assuming that's what's going on there.
Some magnetic something or other.
Right.
That could make a plane that was coming towards land, not seeing land yet, but it could be off and it could put you right back straight out in the middle of the ocean and you're done.
You're done with no fuel to get back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what a helpless, terrifying feeling that has to be.
Yeah.
Now, such a shift, Mike, this 30 degrees shift could feasibly throw a person or even an aircraft off its intended course, as you mentioned. The indigenous people of the land also spoke of portals and spiritual gateways that existed throughout the Alaskan Triangle.
Yeah, that's what I said too. Throughout,
you did,
like all over the place, and they open and close and suck stuff up. Oof.
Now, is something otherworldly at play? Now, skeptics will say that the people who go missing in the Alaskan Triangle are victims of its deadly terrain. But many are convinced that the only explanation is, in fact, supernatural. Of course, the truth could always be that it lies somewhere in between. Will we ever know? Well, that remains to be seen.
Well, you got to figure, there's got to be a percentage, and who knows how big of a percentage that it is just because of the terrain and the vast wilderness. I mean,
right.
I mean, that is part of it, but there's enough going on here that it doesn't cover a fraction of it, I think.
Before we wrap it up, Mike, I'm going to reference the article from allthat'sinteresting.com right now, and the title is Vanishing Planes, Energy Vortexes, and the UFO Sightings Inside the Mysteries of the Alaskan Triangle. If you wanted to pull that one up to follow along.
I shall.
He shall. Now, this phenomenon, Mike, first came to public attention in October of 1972 when a small passenger plane suddenly disappeared en route from Anchorage to Juneau. Neither its passengers nor its wreckage were ever found, despite multiple search efforts spanning over 325,000 square miles. And it only got worse from there, with more than 20,000 people who have gone missing. And we have talked about that already. We talked about the disappearance of House Majority Leader Hale Boggs. Again, was it something nefarious? Was he taken out as part of the government, taking down someone who didn't agree with what they were saying? Who the hell knows? According to the Travel Channel, Mike, one prominent theory regarding the Alaskan Triangle and the numerous disappearances within the region comes from a strange report made to the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, way back in 1986. The report claimed that Japan Airlines Flight 1628 had in fact encountered three, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, more commonly known as UFOs. But I guess the correct terminology nowadays is, again, UAP.
No, it's always going to be UFO.
It's always going to be UFO. It's the old farts like you and I, for sure.
Yeah.
The pilot reported that they initially believed the craft to be military before realizing that the objects were keeping pace with the plane and moving about it in erratic motions while emitting bursts of light. These claims were reportedly later verified by civilian and military radar, leading some to speculate that the disappearances that have occurred in the Alaskan Triangle could in fact be attributed to extraterrestrials. There is another theory that we did kind of tap on a little bit earlier that suggests that massive swirling energy vortexes exist within the Alaskan Triangle. Again, supposedly the direction of energy vortex spins can influence human behavior. A clockwise vortex, for instance, creates positive emotions, while a counterclockwise vortex leads humans to experience negative feelings and confusion. That's really intriguing.
Yeah, it's either going to make you happy or it's going to piss you off.
And it's going to throw you off. Absolutely. It's going to piss you off, and it's going to throw you off. That is really intriguing when you think about that idea. I mean, how powerful and pertinent and related, Mike, can human emotional states be to the earthly locale that they happen to be in?
I think it has a lot to do with magnetic resonance or something.
Yeah.
Something magnetic. I think I've said this before on an episode. I don't know, but ever since I was quite a bit younger, and I'd seen like the movie The Philadelphia Experiment, where they had the electromagnetic thing going on in the ship. It disappeared and all this. For some reason, in my mind, I could grasp, and I don't know why, I don't know how, but I just have always had a strong feeling that a magnetic resonance or magnetic pull or push or whatever can make things do things that you couldn't imagine, like make things disappear, make things like fade out. I feel that as something that is actually can really happen.
And I remember you talking about this in detail in one of our older episodes. Yes, in fact, and you said it just like that too, where you can't properly put it into words how you feel.
I don't have the words. I don't, but to me it makes sense.
It's just it's just in tune with your mind and in tune with your body. It just, like you said, it makes sense to you. You grasp it. You get it.
I don't know how.
Trying to explain it to another person, that's not as easy as to how. Because I feeling it.
In my mind, it's I'm an idiot when it comes to the knowledge of it. But to me, I feel that it makes complete sense, and I wish, and it's like I've fought with myself to try to figure it out, but I can't. It just makes sense to me.
What that reminds me of is, like, you hear tales of people who have, had near-death experiences, and when they come back, they have this innate, unexplainable understanding of like nature and its relationship to like geometry and math. And
that'll never happen to me.
Well, they see, but they understand everything in terms of shapes,
right?
Because everything is universal and perfect, and they see it that way now. But they can't. They had no inclination of it before, but now when they come back after this near-death experience, it's clear as a bell. They feel it. They understand it. It's kind of similar. I get the same vibe as what you're going with there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll figure it out. I don't. Maybe
Mac Jiggler's at a loss of words. Everybody.
Maybe I will. I am getting my whole surgery thing started up again. My major neck surgery. Maybe I'll come out of that with some knowledge and
there you go.
Perspective that I understand. I don't know.
Now, indeed, Mike, electronic readings of the Alaskan Triangle area, it has indicated reports that detected significant magnetic irregularities within this triangle. Search teams in the area have reported their compasses being more than 30 degrees off, which we mentioned earlier. Some have also reported, this is intriguing, some have also reported feeling disoriented or experiencing auditory hallucinations, which could purportedly account for why people get lost or crash in the Alaskan Triangle. Now, again, is this all earthly related? Are the disappearances simply explained by discombobulated minds? These vortexes, these energy irregularities are just throwing people off, and they can't take it, and they're
maybe coming across certain areas where specific ley lines interconnect or something. Who knows?
Oh, I like that idea too.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the Kushtaka, which was like the otter-looking legend from the Tlingit and the Tsimshian indigenous people, this otter-looking shapeshifter. Yes, I am saying otter. O-T-T-E-R. Otter. It is similar in appearance to an otter, but often appears to those lost in the woods as a trusted friend, leading their victim deeper into the wilderness and either tearing them to shreds or turning them into a fellow Kushtaka.
Yeah, and to do that, what they usually do is they take the human, roll them up into a ball, and put them into a certain pouch that's on their front of their...
A Kushtaka pouch?
A Kushtaka pouch.
That sounds like a good rock band name right there.
Warm and comfy, a little moist, but it's comfortable. And there's a little tiny teat in there that you can...
A little teat!
From.
A Kushtaka teat!
There you go. Yeah, you got to look for that teat in the Kushtaka pouch.
Look for the Kushtaka teat in the Kushtaka pouch. Okay, sorry, everybody. Now, there are other theories as well, some more outlandish than others, ranging from heavy air and strange weather to energy laser beams beamed from the lost city known as Atlantis. So now they're throwing at Atlantis all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That said, they're
attached to sharks' heads.
Yes, they're laser beams attached to their heads. They're freaking heads. That said, there are also a few more grounded explanations regarding the Alaskan Triangle for those skeptics out there, and we kind of touched base on all of those. But I wanted to make sure to dive a little bit more into at least one particular airline encounter with UFOs. I mean, that was, if you're interested in this in this mystery, this Alaskan Triangle, there's a lot of stuff out there. We highly encourage you to do your own research. Share your thoughts with us. You guys think it's bunch of hogwash? You think something is going on there that is supernatural, or is it purely related to like earthly irregularities that are just throwing people off, unfortunately?
And we welcome,
I'd like to know your thoughts.
We welcome and respect any thoughts either way.
And I love the idea of the Kushtaka. I love the idea of Bigfoot related anomalies here. Obviously the UFO connection. A lot of strange stuff is going on, Mike, within this Alaskan Triangle. It's something you can't go shake your head and say, no, it's nothing.
Not. There's too much going on. And
there's too much.
Yeah, and the fact that Bigfoot have teats as well.
Oh my God, Mike can't get over the word teat tonight. And I think that's a good time, a good sign that we need to sign off, boys and girls. If you have some teats to go cuddle with right now, I highly suggest you do that. Mike.
Hey, Mary, are you? I'll be right there. Sorry.
This has been great, Mike. Thanks for making this work, man. I hope you had a good 4th. I hope everyone out there had a safe and happy 4th.
Yes.
Enjoy the nice weather. Yeah, it is a little bit warm, but man, get outside, enjoy it if you can.
Oh, it's hot here.
Oh yeah, it's warm. It's hot. Yeah, and I was outside all day.
No, it's as hot outside right now as it gets cold in the wintertime here.
I know, man. And it's. I will say this, Mike, before we sign off. There's nothing better than a summer night after a blistering hot day. Summer nights are so comfy and gorgeous. I love them so much.
They are. Yeah, especially when you're close by a lake.
Oh, yes.
All I have is an alley.
I get ya. I know.
And a bush I can sit by out by the alley.
A large bush. Heavy foliage-filled bush.
Last year we did plant like 10 lilac bushes that are growing nicely. But
I love lilac.
Yeah, we all along the back of our yard. It's just bush after bush, and
love them.
So, and they're coming along nicely, but not enough to sit by yet.
In his backyard, bush after bush. That includes George and Jeb and George W. The late great Barbara. Yeah.
With her big bulgy eyes.
Yeah. R.I.P. to George W.
Yeah.
To George H.W. and Barbara, of course.
Yeah. It was a thyroid situation she had.
All right, Mike. Again, if you'd like to support the podcast, check out our Patreon page. No joke, you can sign up for as little as $1 a month. We have a lot of free content on there. If you made it this far, chances are you will enjoy the content on our Patreon page. Mike, until next time, my friend, what do our awesome paranormal pals need to do?
Peace, peace, peace out.